On the agenda tonight, we're going back to 1971. We're going to be taking a look at Rory Gallagher, and he's going to be performing Laundromat. Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another analysis video. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. So, this is a video from the Beat Club YouTube channel, and we've been given exclusive access to this by Studio Hamburg, so a massive thank you to them. I did a video on this probably 3 or 4 years ago now, where I just looked at tiny sections of the video, and we didn't have the capability to have enough inputs to get the guitar out and demonstrate what I was talking about. So we're going to be jumping into the whole performance tonight and just pointing out a few things about Rory's playing. For reference, there's a link in the description below as always, and that'll take you through to the official Beat Club channel where you can watch the video the whole way through without me interrupting it, because I am going to be jumping into this. But let's see how Rory gets on.
Rory Gallagher mit Laundromat.
Down at the laundromat. If you should pass by, be sure to jump right in. Well, I don't have no clothes to clean, to put inside the machine. It's the craziest place I have ever been. Come round and meet my friends. They'll be there with me.
I'm going to jump in here because we've got so much going on here, and we had some ninth chords actually that we just went into there. Yeah. You know, really cool stuff. The thing to draw your attention to immediately is the riff that we start with and the way that Rory's playing this root note. And let me actually get the guitar up on screen so you can see what I was doing. I mean, with those first chords that I just played, it's actually the D up to the A, and that's a D9, A9. So, starting out from the beginning, we've got this riff where Rory is using his thumb over the top of the guitar, and if I just take it back a little bit and try and remember where we got to, but it's the way that he applies that. You can hear in the background. He's got this kind of hammer-on, pull-off going on with the third finger, but the thumb is supplying that root note of the A underneath, which fills out the sound. And you know, it's really subtle, but getting this. And then he kind of breaks away for the vibrato at the end there. But having that root note in there, you know, really fills in that sound. And, you know, it's great because he kind of throws caution to the wind, but, you know, all of the technique is still in there. He's really precise. His tone as well, it's got a little bit of distortion on there, but you know, it's pretty clean. You can hear every single pick, so there's definitely nowhere to hide. I mean, just look at that right hand, the way that we've got that. And he's kind of all over the place with that. We're not, you know, and being really precise with it. He's kind of throwing caution to the wind, and that comes across through just the sound of what he's playing. You get that aggressive, percussive sound from the guitar, kind of like that. He's not actually kind of hitting the whole of his chord there with that A minor, effectively, but hitting that low E string with that A on just makes all the difference.
What do you think of that?
And we're getting into our chords. A sus2, D, G.
Down at the laundromat.
Back to the A sus2 again.
If you should pass by, be sure to jump right in.
And then So we've got that just A chord here, and this is going to be our bar chord on the 5th fret.
Well, I don't have no clothes to clean. The butt inside the machine is the craziest place I have ever been. Come round and meet my friends.
I think we actually had a little bit of action there. 14th fret, high E string and B string with that A 9th chord.
That will be to the end. Will be to the end. Will be to the end.
I mean, this is just Riff Tastic because now we've got this. Actually, I think it's picked. And it sounds like we've got hammer-ons and pull-offs on that 1st fret. So, Rory, when he's piecing this together, of course, there's so much going on that we've already pointed out, but it's just constant on the guitar. All of these little lines we've got going on, and even the we kind of had that then leading us into and yeah, it's kind of tempting to it's tempting to kind of, you know, get into that standard progression, but let's get back into it. So, okay, we're going to just jump into this briefly, and this isn't going to be an instructional video, but, I mean, what we've got here from Rory, we've got actually kind of mostly our, kind of like that, but actually starting out, we had this little rundown. Let's have a listen again. So we're starting. But it's thrown together really quickly and it's really clean as well. So we've got something like that. But I mean, the phrasing, this is the other thing about Rory's playing. The phrasing, the way that he throws these lines together, like when I go, you know, it's not exactly the same as Rory's playing because I'm not doing the phrasing. I have to listen to it lots and lots and lots of times in order to get the subtleties. Something like that. Actually, I might play it straight to begin with. And okay. It's quick and it needs muscle memory. Kind of like that. You know, that's probably as close as it's going to get for a few attempts. Okay, so here, when we're going down after that, we've got and interestingly, I mean, we're not just playing major scale here, and we're not going to get into too many details, but if you are one of those players, if you do play guitar and you know your modes, you want to be in the Mixolydian mode here, and I don't really spend any time on modes myself just because I just prefer to play what I'm singing in my head, you know, regardless of what modes those fall in. You know, I can then work that out afterwards if somebody else wants to know. But it means that when we've got a major scale like that, the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do scale, as I mention all the time, the 7th in that, there, that major 7th, because in the major scale, you're taking that down. Okay, down a semitone. So we've got kind of like that. And we're in A here, by the way. So by taking that down, it's effectively the minor 7th that you're playing. but we're not playing everything minor before that. But we're placing that in there. Anyway, that's the Mixolydian scale, just through 1 octave if you wanted to know. But it just means that whenever we're... Yeah, that's what we've got pretty much Rory's playing here. And you'll be able to hear these notes that he's just doing a little run through. Let me see if we can hear it again. There, that... So yeah, I mean, we've got nothing on this sound really. There's not even reverb, you know. So quite a dry sound, distortion, but dry. And we've got this, you know, that kind of thing. And then we've got this. Let me point out as well, when I mention about phrasing, I mean, yeah, there's kind of so much depth you could go into with this kind of lead. Not just playing the notes or the scales, but having the bounce. We're not going and just playing straight. We've got, yeah, there's a little kind of hop in there. And that, yeah, really subtle hammer-ons and pull-offs. That kind of thing. And here, then we've got... So now it's just gone straight into that A minor shape, and, you know, A minor extended pentatonic shape here, so... kind of like that. So he's just chopping and changing, and just, you can tell that he's just playing here. He's not really worried too much about, you know, playing a solo exactly the same every time. He's probably got a framework to it. Let's continue. There again, we had, I know I'm like stopping this every second, but we've got this is that kind of thing. Third time, you know, those little hammer-ons and pull-offs, you know, that I was talking about. You know, it's really cool just the way that he throws it in there. But this is all just top level technique as well, because he's picking the strings so many times rather than kind of going, and you then start to lose the sound because you're not picking enough. You know, you can hear how much I'm picking there. You know, to make sure that it's all kind of cutting through. But, you know, Rory just does that, and he has such a controlled right hand that, you know, he could just pick through all of these intricate lines, make it look like he's being really wild, but it's just so accurate with that right hand, picking out all of these notes, and, of course, being synchronized left hand and right hand. And there's a little line there. Kind of a... you know, a little kind of jazzy line that he threw in there. Again, really cool. Into the... kind of like that. So, again, you know, stopping it every few seconds. But when you're looking at a player like Rory, you just... have this all the time, tiny little details. You think, oh, that was cool, and then you listen to another 3 seconds, you think, oh, that was cool, and then, yeah, throwing in a little jazzy line, you think, oh, that's cool as well, and you kind of want to stop it and rewind it and listen to everything and kind of figure it all out. But, yeah, that was... I'm going to try and... Well, that was almost similar. But yeah, really cool stuff.
Baby, bad times come and go. If you don't know that by now, then you'll never know. What do you think of that? I'm on the street like an old stray cat. If you should look for me, you'll know exactly where to go. Come round and meet my friend. They'll be there with me. Right through the air. Right through to the end, right through to the end. What do you think of that? I'm sleeping down at the laundromat. If you should pass by, be sure to jump right in. Well, I don't have no clothes to clean.
And also, just to mention, when we're playing through that, or even, you know, I know that we do kind of, when we have that vibrato, it's, again, it's such an important detail. This and having that control to kind of put that in there. You've got all these different lines going on that have kind of different roots in there, because we have that little kind of hop and that almost Irish jig feel to it. But then when we get into the we'll get a totally different feel. So, it just throws you so many things. And yeah, it is a case of, blink and you'll miss it when you're looking at the fretboard, but you can just listen to it and just take it in and, just appreciate it and then analyze it afterwards to see what he was doing. But yeah, it's so cool throwing all of these lines together.
Stick inside the machine. It's the craziest place I have ever been. Come round and meet my friend. I've ever been with me to the end, with me to the end, with me to the end.
I mean, even in that little section, we go into some kind of classic blues in there. Had a little run in there, and actually playing the octave, just bringing up that subject of the bass and the rhythm section. We've got Wilger Campbell here on drums and Jerry McAvoy on bass. Again, we have to highlight the fact that this is a three-piece and they make such a great noise together. Getting a full sound, a lot of that is to do with just being tight to begin with, having the rhythm section just locked in, but then the way that Rory plays his guitar and having that and having a full sound rather than just playing single notes all the time, because then obviously that whole sound would drop out if you just got a single note, whereas when you've got a few strings ring out together, it's going to just fill in all of the spaces. And that's so difficult to do with a three-piece. And listen to the way that in the verses we then come down and, with those chords, it's now very much a cleaner kind of setup. Actually, it's the chord first. And then we back into our A sus2. And I don't think it's the case that Rory is editing his tone like on the fly, on his guitar too much. He's just more kind of just being careful with that right hand, doing more of a exaggerated kind of strumming pattern. And and then he then kind of leans into it with that right hand. So just affecting the dynamics on the fly and just with your own playing. And you know, the whole band do that as well. You know, it's so well pieced together from that dynamic perspective that, you know, the drums come down during the verse and everyone just is on the same page. But let's jump into it again. And there we have it. And that's how you do that. Again, you know, there's so much in there, and his tone really is highlighted as to how clean it is when he's then playing through, you know, and he kind of tries to get those harmonics, but you can tell that his tone is so clean. Mine's actually a little bit dirtier here. I've got a little bit more distortion, and if I kind of, I can still hear those harmonics because of the tone. I've got a tiny bit more. But when Rory is going for those harmonics, they are in there, but yeah, they're really difficult to get just because of the clarity of tone. And you know, the more distortion, the heavier your sound, the easier those pinched harmonics are going to be. I think even during that section we had kind of alternate picking going on, again another technique to throw at you, but it was more like a kind of muted with a pinched harmonic kind of sound. You know, that kind of thing. You know, and on, like I said, on a clean tone, you know, that's really difficult. And, you know, with that palm muting as well, just putting all of these techniques together, palm muting, alternate picking, and, you know, dexterity with the left hand. And this is why I wanted to just take a brief look, and I know that this video's probably gone on for ages, but this is still a brief look at what's going on, because, like I said, there are so many levels you can take this to, but just to point out a few of the techniques and things that Rory does throughout this performance, because it's just a multitude of technique and, you know, stylizations, playing in different ways, obviously, you know, playing and singing, delivering that vocal at the same time, but doing it all, making it look really easy. Yeah, it's great to look at this performance in a little bit more detail. And again, a huge thank you to Studio Hamburg and Beat Club, the channel, for allowing this to be shown on our channel here for us to be able to analyze it and jump into it in a little bit more detail. But thank you guys as well for requesting another look at Rory Gallagher. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Keep those suggestions and requests coming in the comments section below. As always, let me know what you guys think. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Rock!